Street steam rising. Store dates halfway up. Old clock in the bodega. Hand stuck at one. Yeah. 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 Yo, I seen time in the lines on my uncle's face. He said you blink once, kid, it's not the decade. He poured coffee, little splash on the counter ash. Said we all live with credit from the hourglass. I took notes in the marble composition pages. Spraying car sermons from the half-slat sages. Lady with the crossword filling in the ages. Man with the bottle chasing lame as angels. One of cats argue about who really woke. Then ignore the old dude asking for a coat. He been quoting big books. Tiny to a note saying every truth costs more than this slow. Listen, I walk slow where the drum sings crank to black. Every crack in the concrete a broken clap. Every story in the lobby on the bucks to lock. Every yes that we swallow with the kind of knot. We just sand in that hourglass, stuck in the gutter. Hands on the numbers, but we don't know the color of the last light flicker through the Panamint blind. Still we breathe, still we bleed, still we bargain with time. Truth in the smoke and the siren hum. In the crib on the tongue to the quiet one. Whole world spinning on the fried the brand. We chase light while we're dancing with depth instead. Yeah, my man said, bro, what you trust besides fear? I said some sound stylish once in a while tears. He laughed, you still imp thoughts, cold pay bills. But his eyes look tired like overdue years. We walk with the rest, turn the dies of facts. With a map never match how the block be at. Features the history written in the clean straight line. But my noble show loops, I will fold right back. Why the rich man fitty, but he helped create? Why the preacher bless change with a steady face? Mama said, baby, don't let the hate move in. But it's hard when the landlord know your dinner plate. I read books so the margins turn to dust state. Learn that heaven might just be a lunch break. When your kid laugh loud and the pay hush down, and your past ain't louder than the train uptown. They sell truth and slogans, buy it in bulk. But real truth feel heavy like a guilty post. Like a voicemail saved from a friend you lost. You press play, then you press stop, then you press and fraud. We just stand in the hourglass, stuck in the gutter. Hands on the numbers, but we don't know the color. The last light flicker through that tenement dimes. Still we breathe, still we bleed, still we barred in with time. Sister the smoke and the siren haunting the prayer on the tongue of the quiet one. Whole world spinning older friend who dread. Yeah, we chase light while we're dancing. Yeah, with that instead. Yeah. Old head on the bench says, son, come sit. Ash on his jeans, little star on his lip. Got 3 hard stints and a lifetime of lies. Ask me anything before I find me quit. I said, what is life? Eat brain, you still young. Life is what you print is between each long breath and death. Wrapped out what you can't fix. Life is borrowed things on a layaway list. What is that? He scratched at a lotto ticket. Time is that tray coming whether you win it. You can stain on the platform, swear you ain't late, but the doors no care how you feel about fate. What is truly pause? Took the so small sin. Truth is the bruise on the hardest clips. You can dress it in trends, you can change them fits, but alone in the mirror, it still don't slip. What's a human you love that the traffic qual? Just a soft little question inside a scar. Like a flame in the wind trying to act so tall. Overpriced coat in the freezing fall. Train screech. Steam from the grate. Old head on the crate. Says Bill, young blood. Yeah, I'm from a block where the clocks got tired of us. Hands froze mid-swing over fire escapes. Wide up, dice games, babies and strollers. Sirens humming every corner like a question mark. Mine still running, see I was raised where the stories got lead and brick. Every crack in the pavement like a parable. Quick, we learn time from the bus stop. Late again, from candles on the curb. For a lost best friend, teacher said history memorized these dates, but the calendar lied. Truth hidden milk crates in the line of notes of a record that the rain almost choked. I heard a trumpet solo arguing with fate. Notes bending like they trying to escape. Though maybe life is a loop. Needle stuck in the groove, trying to carve a new path with the same old moves. Ma prayed in the kitchen, pots talking in code. Pop stared at the window, heavy eyes on the road. I took all that silence, shaped it into a verse, like a measure by measure, trying to bless this curse. Sands in the subway, fall through my hand. Time in the turnstile, won't understand. Truth in the cracks of the concrete land. I just write what I can, I just write what I can. Watch the world pass, face on the glass. Life in the rush, but the questions last. If everything fades like a name in the sand, I just write what I can, I just write what I can. Yeah. What's a second but a step from what's the whiz? Blink twice, little shorty now taller than this bench where we plotted got swallowed by a cafe. New sign, same sadness sitting in the ashtray. They sell dreams in installments, monthly fees, interest on your soul, compounding disease. We chase green to the grave, ain't stained by the chase, but the reaper don't care about the bills we face. I seen dudes trade their truth for a little applause. Round the claps, then collapse, then forgettable flaws. Me, I'd rather spit a bar that only 10 heads get than lie to 10 million. Cash a counterfeit check, ask the mirror. Who you in the spotlight dead when the last page flips? What's left over in your head? You ever talk to your younger self? Try to explain how the heroes turn human and the joy learn pain. I told mine, yo, the monsters ain't under the bed. They in boardrooms, back rooms, inside your head. But you stronger than the stories that they wrote on your skin. Your value ain't measured by the places you've been. Sands in the subway, fall through my hand. Time in the turnstile, won't understand. Truth in the cracks of the concrete land. I just write what I can, I just write what I can. Watch the world pass, face on the glass. Life in a rush, but the questions last. If everything fades like a name in the sand, I just write what I can, I just write what I can. They say live for the moment, but the moment feels thin, like smoke in the winter, going quick on the wind. So I stitch little meanings to the hem of the day, trying to keep it from unraveling and drifting away. I seen time stop on a hospital bed when the eyes just lock. Family around, hearts drowning in a steady beat. You realize every promise that you kept is what you get to keep. Existence is a tightrope strung over the void. We balance with habits, love, vices employed. Some read scriptures, some read the stock report. Either way, we search for a way to hold cord. So what is truth? Fact in a book or the scar is proof? The math that they taught or the math of the streets? 2 weeks on a check, 3 days till you eat. Maybe truth is in the laugh you share on a broke night, in the last slice.
Look, I seen time on a payphone, dial tone hanging like a halo. Greystone, quarter in my palm, whole world in a click. Friend died young, name burned in the brick. Old head on the bench saying son don't rush. Wrinkles in his face like the subway rust. Every line on his skin held a loss, held a win, held a night he ain't proud of. Stories in the wind, I was scribbling on the transfer verbs in my veins. Whole car shaking while it curved through the rain. Thoughts on the glass, watching raindrops race. Every drip like a lifetime of race. If the truth in the cracks of the platform, tiles in the side from the clerk in the half-form smile, then this life just a puzzle with a piece in the drain, and the picture never finished, we just named the frame.
Tick-tock, tick, city never answers. Hourglass leaning on the curb by the dancers. Sand in my sneakers, clock in my chest. We chase time, time watching us rest.
Truth in the smoke from the grate when it rises. Truth in the shade where the hype man quiets.
Life on the line between here and the skywalk, trying to read God in the cracks of the sidewalk.
I seen love in a food stamp, hate in a race. Boss gave cents, stole hours from my days. Mama at the sink, whole world on the wrist. Dishwater dreams, dawn soap, sore fish. She said, boy, learn numbers, they don't bend for tears. Learn how to check, move, how debt reappears. But my pen had a hunger that the math couldn't feed. So I wrote to the margin, started begging for reprieve. Corner store cats talk fate by the fridge, arguing if the rich ever live on the ridge. One said, life just chance with a better disguise. Others said, every choice draw a map of your mind. So which is it? Coin in the air or the hand that flip it? If I missed the train, was it meant or a misstep? Or just a dude running late, short breath, slick steps? Maybe truth in the space where the reasons hide. In the pause before we speak where the fears reside.
Tick tock, tick, city never answers. Hourglass leaning on the curb by the dancers. Sand in my sneakers, clock in my chest. We chase time, time watching us rest.
Truth in the smoke from the grate when it rises. Truth in the shade where the hype man quiets.
Life on the line between here and the skywalk. Trying to read God in the cracks of the sidewalk.
I seen faith in the cab light off of the night. Driver count bills, say a prayer at the light. He said if I crashed, tell my kids I was trying. Eyes on the dash where the virgin was lying. Cross on the chain, swinging slow with the lane shifts. Whole back seat smelling like lost days tips. He asked, you believe in the purpose or you just pass through? I said I believe in the questions more than half truth. See, we born in a riddle, die in a rumor. Name turn smoke in a broke ass computer. Data in the drive, some kid won't read. While the graveyard roots thread deep through the street. But right now, we here in this breath, in this brow, in this blink. While the light turn red to green. In this verse where I spill what the cracks might mean. Maybe life just alone from the dark. We escaped every heart on the clock with a fraudulent face. Maybe truth just a mirror that we dodge till it breaks. Shards on the floor showing all our mistakes. If time had a voice, would it sound like trains? Would it cry like brakes? Would it laugh at our pain? If truth had a house, would it face our block? A hide uptown where the curtains lock? If life had a map, would it mark this turn? Or just let us? Or just let us? Same crack, same block, hands trapped. I seen years in the lunch line, watch dreams get cut like they lunchtime. Quarter to $1 in a blunt rhyme. Kids roll, hope hit once, then they unwind. Time talk slick out the bus glass. Whole life framed in a bus pass. Mama worked late for the must-haves. Pop ghosted, left us where his trust was. Homies turn ghosts, but the milk still. Spoil in the fridge when the bill chill. Late on the rent, but the guilt will. Crawl in your chest when the crib still. I learned truth from a lock gate. From a judge with a bored face. From a friend that said call and he lost trace. From a watch with a crack, still called late. What's the second when your cousin on the phone line? Waiting on a pill, hoping that it go fine. Calendar pages feel like a clothesline. Whole life hanging in the courtroom, cold shine. We chase clocks, they don't chase us. We chase likes, they don't taste much. We chase names, we don't face us. Tryna buy time, can't save up. Clock hands on concrete. Time drips slow in the cold street. Truth in the cracks where the stones meet. If you listen, you can hear your soul speak. Yeah. Old heads on the stoop, talk deep. Say the real in between slow sip. Life passing the blue smoke street. Blink once, whole hood goes quick. This that train car sermon at the last stop. Preacher with a flask in his backpack. Quote old verses in the past talk. Say son, every lie got a trapdoor. He said you want truth, start doubting it. Anything too neat, got counterfeit. If it fit too clean, that's an outfit. Real feels rough when you're around it. Truth ain't a tweet you can scroll through. It's your heart when the crib get cold too. It's your face in the glass when you sold you. For a little bit of buzz that controlled you. I seen time in the nurse shift. And the tired pair of eyes on the first lift. And the hand that still shake when the work shift.
over, but the trauma never turned quick. We talk life like a long road, but it's more like doors in the hall though. You pick one, some close, some all broke, some led back to the same old wall smoke. What if heaven just a quiet room? Just you and the truth that you hide from. Every lie that you loved, every side stunt, play back on the loop while your mind run. So I write with the weight of that. Every bar like a faded map. Trying to find where the faith is at. In a world that trades souls like a way to cash. Clock hands on concrete. Time drips slow in the cold street. Truth in the cracks where the stones meet. If you listen, you can hear your soul speak. Old heads on the stoop, tall deep. Say the real in between slow sips. Life passing the blue small street. Blink once, whole hood goes quick. We here then gone. Name on the wall, then paint come off. Love turn ash, then rain run off. Still we reach for the flame in the dark. We laugh, we lie. Pray in the cab when we scared to die. Trade our days for a piece of the sky, then forget what we paid. Wonder why. I had talks with the night bus seats. Ask God if he ride these streets. If he ever took a 5 train, eyes half sleep. Seen a kid sell pills just to buy crack sneaks. If the truth wear Tim's or a silk robe. If it live in the church or the 5th floor. If it hide in a book that we still quote. While the block bleed red on the brick road. Maybe life just a short lease. You decorate the room, then the tour cease. You return all the keys that you wore a piece. And they sweet.
Corner store clerk counting singles in the neon. Old man talking to his coffee like the day already won. I'm staring at the clock. Graffiti on the train map. Hands chasing numbers. Numbers never run back. Nah. Time's a landlord knocking at the thin door. Every second that you spend, he gon' send for. All the rent that you paid with your breath line. All the debts that you made trying to stretch time. Mama said, boy, choose your truth or choose you. Mirror said, you wear that mask like it grew you. I've been on the stoop counting questions like loose change. Every answer that I get kinda feels strange. Why we worship gold, no one's skin gon' wrinkle. Why we chase a crown that corrode like a nickel. Why we beef in the building, same fire escape. When the block flood out, we the same escape. Seen a kid skip school for a quick flip. Learn math in the alley out of shit bricks. But he still got a mind like a lit wick. If he see another way, would he switch scripts? Clock hands on the corner, spinning in a straight line. Take old heads, say hold faith. Young ones, they take mine. Life is just a long walk, looking for a true sign. I've been trying to slow time, down inside a new rhyme. Clock hands on the corner, spinning in a straight line. True, I done plain view right there between the gray sky and the train lines. Every day another page, another book we can't rewind. I've been trying to know me before I run out of time. I was raised with a bridge, kissed the river with a cold cut deep, make a grown man shiver. Rats in the tracks, rats in the system. Judge got a quota, preacher got a vision. Politician talk slick like a grease spot. Promise you a key to a cheap box. They gon' sell you any dream that the TV stream. Turn a human to a hashtag and call that a team. I seen truth in the tear on my father's cheek. When he said I ain't scared, I'm just feeling weak. Seen truth in my mother folding last week's shirt, saying love me, you stand even when it hurts. Existence ain't a meme, it's a mean fight. You either glow from within or you need light. Every breath is a bet that you still here. Every fear is a fence you could peel clear. What's a past life worth if you learn nothing? What's a fast life worth if you burn, cousin? I'd rather move slow with my thoughts straight than arrive to the grave at a top rate. Clock hands on the corner, spinning in a straight line. Take old heads, say hold faith. Young ones, they take mine. Life is just a long walk, looking for a true sign. I've been trying to slow time, down inside a new rhyme.
Clock hands on the corner, spinning in a straight line. True, hot in plain view, right there between the gray sky and the train lines. Every day another page in a book we can't rewind. I've been trying to know me before I run out of time. Before I run out of time. Young shorty on the steps, head in a notebook, drawing whole worlds that the block never once took. He said, oh gee, what's life? I said, that's layered, part science, part soul, part answered prayers, part trauma you inherit from a last name, part karma, part luck in the crash lane, part roof that you sleep under when the rain talk, part choice every time that your pain walk. You can measure every second on a wristband.
Late night, last train, ghost town, fast brain, steel rails, hum low, I'm moving slow.
Yeah. Clock on the corner, got a cracked glass grin. Seconds drip thick like the smoke I'm in. Old man on the stoop says it all comes round. Then he stares at his hands like they lost and found. Bills past due, past lives in my backpack. No book pack, whole world in a half rap. Every line a small fight with a void. Trying to build truth out of broken noise. Kids tag names on the shuttered storefront. Say a prayer and a laugh, little nervous front. They don't know if they'll see 25. Still they crack jokes just to prove they alive. I walk slow, count breaths, count scars, count nights spent arguing with the stars. Time is a thief in a thrift store coat. Then life is a scribble in the margins I wrote. Green in the eyeglass, watch it slide. Whole world turning on the inside. Truth in the cracks where the lies can't hide. I just ride. Footprints fading in the city dust. Every heartbeat arguing with rust. If the road gives way, I adjust. I trust. Mama used to say, boy, facts ain't truth. You can quote every book, still miss the proof. Saw a preacher on a Q train, eyes like coal, selling heaven for a swipe, never touch a soul. Saw a kid with a blade trying to cut his pain, writing poems on his arm like a purple rain. Told him ink on the page hits just as deep. He laughed once, put the metal back to sleep. What's real? Is it blood? Is it bread? Is it bills? Is it late night talks on the project hills? Is it that one good friend when the crowd fades out? Or a quiet little choice you don't brag about? I've lied to myself just to stay upright. Said I'm good through a raw invite. Truth ain't clean, it's a scar that you earn. It don't shine, it just burns till you learn. Brain in the hourglass, watch it slide. Whole world turning on the inside. Truth in the cracks where the lies can't hide. I just ride. Footprints fading in the city dust. Every heartbeat arguing with rust. If the road gives way, I adjust. I trust. Maybe we just stories in a stranger's head. Names on the wall once the pain all shed. If all I leave's words, then my pen bled red. Did I waste my breath or rewrite dread? Ooh. Sidewalk prayers, rooftop out. Same sky, listening, different routes. If time stopped now, what I talk about? Probably love, not clout. I've seen time fold like a cheap gold chain. Best friends fade, old flames lose flame. Chased fast things, almost lost my way. Then I heard my own voice say stay. There's a kid in my hood that reminds me of me. Same hoodie, same question, same crack teeth. He asked what's life, I ain't got that key. Just said take care what you choose to be. We all drop crumbs in a dark long hall. Hope someone coming next won't slip and fall. Maybe that's all, just leave one light. A small warm line in a long cold night. If truth is a house, I'm still on the stoop, knocking with a verse and a folded loop. When the last bar echoes and the crowd get thin, I'll still spit gems to the empty wind. Yeah, rain in the hourglass, watch it slide. Whole world turning on the inside. Truth in the cracks where the lies can't hide. I just ride. Footprints fading in the city dust. Every heartbeat arguing with rust. If the road gives way, I adjust. I trust.
Street lights blink, but the night moves on. Same old script, brand new dawn. stuck at 3 in the morning.
Yeah. I seen decades drip off a tilted stoop step. Little kids trade dreams for a blue Kool-Aid breath. Old heads play chess on a cracked milk crate. Say the board never changes, just the names on the face. Graffiti on the shutters like scriptures in the rust. Every tag a tiny sermon that we scribble out of dust. I learned time ain't a line, it's a circle at a standstill. You run until you dizzy and the right where your hands feel. My man said truths, quiet lies, love to talk loud. I heard wisdom in the sirens cutting through the crowd. Under flickering fluorescence where the rats on the night. You either chase another dollar or you stay into your life. Why my father count hours, why my mother count stains. Why I measure every summer by the growth of my pain. If the past is a prison and the future just a myth, then the present is a witness we keep losing when we drift.
Tick-tock on the crack wall. Time fall from the clock to the gutter. We all run from the same fall. Same rain, same stain in the water. Truth hide in the small things. Sidewalk, chalk, payphones, old rings. If life is just a long swing, hold tight when the world gets darker.
I seen God in a token booth counting out change. Halo made of dust around fluorescent frames. Lady sweeping up tickets like she sweeping up days. Throw them all in the bag, toss them out with the haze. What if heaven just a diner on a slow Tuesday? Eggs over easy with the ghost you betrayed. You apologize soft over lukewarm tea. And they shrug, say that's life, then they all let you be. We debate on the train about free will and fate. He say choice is an illusion, still he's showing up late. I say, if we just atoms on a random parade, why your heart still break at a funeral wave? The truth tastes bitter like the last of the cough syrup. Kids sip it anyway. Trying to fake being bigger. Existence is a riddle with the answer in reverse. You don't solve it by explaining, you just live through the verse.
Tick-tock on the crack wall.
Yeah.
Time fall from the clock to the gutter. We all run from the same fall. Same rain, same stain in the water. Truth hide in the small things. Sidewalk, chalk, payphones, old rings. If life is just a long swing, hold tight when the world gets darker.
Project hallway echo, slip a light under doors. Where a mother count pills till her fingers feel sore. Where a kid find hope in a beat in the bar. Turn a roach infested room to a personal star. I write rhymes in the margins of a wrinkled receipt. Every line like a footprint in invisible streets. I've been looking for a purpose like I dropped it last night. On the corner by the hydrant where we argue about life. Is truth in the textbook, is it stuck in the church? Is it buried in a sentence that you read and it hurts? Maybe truth just a mirror you can't stand to face. So you blame the broken glass for reflecting your waste. I had homies that vanished in the chemical smoke. Turned their bodies to a lab just to test every hope. Now I pray for them quiet when the city go dim. Ask the sky hard questions, hear my echo ask again, yeah.
We all bleed minutes in the moonlight. Trade tomorrows for a cheap high. Every second got a blue price. Every truth got two lies. Eyes open in a closed world. Heart heavy like an old word. If this all just a cold swirl, why my chest feels so stirred? Tick-tock on the crack wall. Time fall from the clock to the gutter. We all run from the same fall. Same rain, same stain in the water. Truth hide in the small things. Sidewalk, chalk, payphones, old rings. If life is just a long swing, hold tight when the world gets darker.
Yeah. Clock hands. Listen. Caught between the crosswalk paint and the rust on the rail. Old heads on the stoop, still discussing what failed. Young shorty on the corner trying to customize fate. Same block, different watch, every number debate.
I seen summers turn to rumors, winters flipping to faith. Seen a liar quote a scripture with conviction on his face. They sell hope in a bottle, truth tucked in a crate, behind a bodega curtain where they gossip and pray. My uncle taught me time's a landlord, rendering your bones. Every wrinkle is an invoice, every scar is a loan. You can hide behind a logo, you can stunt with a stone, but when the mirror starts speaking, you stand there alone. I wrote rhymes on receipts on the back of my debts. Every bar a little bargain that I made with regret. Trying to measure out meaning in these minimal steps, but the ruler keep bending when it meet with my flesh. I watched the rich kid panic when the Wi-Fi dropped, while a man down the block tried to buy 5 crops from a food card, asking for a line of credit. Same hunger, different flavor, same stomach upsetting. We chase someday like it owes us a favor, but someday never answer. It just shuffle the paper, the calendar bleed ink, days drip to the floor. You blink at your reflection and it look like before. Nah, it's older in the eyes, heavier in the stance. You ain't lazy, you just learn what it costs to advance. So I pace with intention through the noise and the smoke, where the truth speaks soft but the lies beat it in votes.
Clock hands on the concrete, ticking in my mind while the whole block breathe. Every second that we spend, we don't get no receipt. Is it life that we live or a life on lease? Clock hands on the concrete, same gray stone where the lost heart bleed. I've been searching for the truth on these cold dark streets. If it talk in a whisper, I just hope I can reach, yeah.
Heard a preacher on the train tie loose voice hoarse, say we all want freedom but we don't know the source. Girl with the nose ring rolling out of course, but clinging to a self-help book like a life force. I ain't different, I've been scrolling through illusions for clues, where opinions rest as facts and get paid off views. Algorithm mag friendly but it feeds you with views. Every click another brick in your personal tune. So I unplug, let the city be the screen I read. Graffiti on the shutter spelling out I agree. Tag says trust less, next wall trust need. Contradiction in the letters like a modern creed. I asked the OG, what you think truth is? He said it's what you still believe when it costs you to live. Then he coughed into a rag, took a drag, small sip of that corner store coffee. Eyes dark, wrist chip. We talk time like it's simple, like a straight long line, but it loop on itself every time you rewind. Same fights at the table, same scripts, same lies, same toast at the wedding, same tears when it dies. If the past is a prison and the future's a myth, then the present just a witness that we scared to admit. We distract, overpack every minute we get, so we don't hear the silence say, you ain't finished yet? My homie said, bro, all that deep talk boring. Then he stared at the ceiling till 4 in the morning. Truth not gentle, doesn't kick your door in, it just sit in the corner while your conscience storming.
Clock hands on the concrete, ticking in my mind while the whole block breathe. Every second that we spend, we don't get no receipt. Is it life that we live or a life on lease? Clock hands on the concrete, same gray stone where the lost heart bleed. I've been searching for the truth on these cold dark streets. If it talk in a whisper, I just hope I can reach.
Train break scream, steam on the grate, storefront gate, halfway red, old man sweeping, ash off the stoop, kids in the park, arguing truth. My barrel talking to mumble, sidewalk stumble, brick walls bubble with paint and struggle. Every face a puzzle, every wrinkle a map, every laugh got a crack, every joy got a trap. See time on the hand of the man on the corner, yellow teeth, grand bill in his palm like a warning. He say, kid, watch the minutes you spend, cause the ones you throw away never circle again. I wrote that in the margins of a metro card. Ink bleed like the city when it rained too hard. All the questions that we carry in a JanSport bag, mixed with crumbs, old gum, and a wrinkled tag. Like why the rush when the graveyard patient? Why they sell a dream for the same old payments? Why every truth feels staged on pages? Why the why sound crazy in the loudest stages? I seen faith in a broke man eyes, sharing fries with his son like a gold franchise. He ain't on one share of the world outside, but he split what he had, that's a kingdom in disguise. Dust on the clock, still the clock don't stop. Hands keep running through the same old blocks. We chase one truth through a maze of talk, till the day we drop, till the day we drop. Cracks in the glass, but the sky looks sharp. Life right lines in a crowded car. We all bleed time, that's the rarest part. Dust on the clock, dust on the heart,
Every stop sign red, think when I walk past. Caught between a quick fix and a thought that lasts. In a world where a lie get a front row seat, and the truth sells zines on a one-way street. We debate what real in a comment thread, while a mom count change by a hospital bed. Every breath that we get is an unpaid debt. We forget till a siren hum and dust can reset. I seen God in the smallest shifts, like the hand on the pole when the train just lurch. Strangers lean, instinct knit, whole causeway so we don't all hit dirt. Maybe heaven just a crowded ride where we finally see each other as the same inside. Where the suit, the janitor, the kid, the guide. All night like, yeah, we survived that time. My homie said, what if this all just math? Cells divide, stars die, just a failing graph. I said, cool, but explain this laugh. How broke do joke, cut the dark in half. Explain how grief make a quiet room ring. How simple hug feel like a secret spring. If we only atoms in a senseless spin, why the hell we care if the pain get thin? Dust on the clock, still the clock don't stop. Hands keep running through the same old blocks. We chase one truth through a maze of talk. Till the day we drop, till the day we drop. Cracks in the glass, but the sky looks sharp. Life right lines in a crowded car. We all bleed time, that's the rarest part. Dust on the clock, dust on the heart. One life, two sides, 3 a.m., 4 rides, same route. New mind, what you keep, what you leave behind. I've been folding my regrets like shirts, stacked in a drawer that I never unearthed. Maybe all that hurt just fuel for the verse, or a way to remember what the silence worth. Shh. Truth walks slow in a loud bazaar, then to scream dreams from a cheap bazaar. Every slogan token, glowing bar, trying to sell you a self with a nicer scar. But you can't pawn pain for a brand new name. Can't trade shame for a chain, it's the same old chain. I learned that watching raindrops stain the same brownstone where my uncle slain. He died over pride, that's a lowercase God. Tiny throne in the mind, but dust on a
turn the city down. Let the record breathe. Clock on the wall. Got his eyes on me. I see my face in the train door, blurred in the glass like a faint thought. 80-some summers in a paint splat. On the side of this car, that's a Saints war. Old heads on the bench speaking parables. Son, don't gamble your soul for the tangible. Cards on the cardboard, coins in the paper cup. Time playing dealer while we try to keep our patience up. Every block got a story you could bleed from. Kids draw halos and chalk where they grief from. Speed run childhood, scrolling through a cheap phone, searching for a self that they never got the beat from. I read the cracks in the pavement like scripture. Lines in my palm match lines in the system. Both hands dirty, still washing off fiction. Truth in the distance, I walk toward the whisper. Hourglass in the subway, sand in my shoes. Every little grain is a choice that I choose. Life on the dash like a yellow cab move. If time is a lie, what's left that's true? What's left that's you? Hourglass in the subway, sand in my shoes. Faces in a blur, but the question stay glued. If truth is a mirror, who you talking to? Who you talking to? I seen preachers with pockets like landlords, blessing every Benz in the back like carport. Quote a little verse and they pass around that hat brim. Same old pattern, they cashing in on bad whims. I ain't here to clown faith, I just doubt frauds. I sell you forever then bounce with your house gone. We born in the rules that we never got to vote for. Labels on the door frame, chains on the coat hook. Mama worked doubles, knuckles in the dishwater. Pops took a plea deal, name in the court order. I learned early that the law got a lane. Been into the green like a spine with a scheme. So I study every lie they present as a lesson. History is written by the hands with the weapons, but the ink still drips from the ones under pressure. Graffiti on the steel, that's the people's confession. I don't need a pulpit, I preach from the
payphone, dial tone humming like find your way home. Every short breath is a verse on a tight loop. Life is a test, you correct your own typos. Hourglass in the subway, sand in my shoes. Every little grain is a choice that I choose. Life on the dash like a yellow cab move. If time is a lie, what's left that's true? What's left that's you? Hourglass in the subway, sand in my shoes. Faces in the blur, but the questions stay glued. If truth is a mirror, who you talking to? Who you talking to? Look, you can measure every second on your wristband. Still miss the moment where your kid laughs. You could chase a big bag, stack it in a split level. Still feel small when you sit with your own shadow. I seen bright minds drown in a dull day. Scrolling past pain like it's just another cold case. I seen quiet kids carry galaxies in notebooks. Never say a word, whole worlds in the margins. They don't show, they don't show, they don't show. Am I my worst star on a bad night? Or the man that I am when I act right? Or the ghost in the frame on my gram page, frozen in a pose that I barely even stand. Like questions on my tongue, like a landmine. Step wrong, blow every plan out the damn sky. But that's the truth though, it don't move from my mood swings. It just sits there, wait until I prove things. They told me chase dreams, left out the fine print. Dreams chase back, ass tax on your time span. Every little habit is a brick in a tall wall. Every little fear is a chain on a long wall. So I lay mine down on the train tracks. Let the iron, let the iron, let the iron.
Clock hands on the concrete. Train brakes singing nothing, dog. Old heads nod on the corner. Young kids chase a spark.
Yeah, I was raised with a payphone's cry. Loose change in the tray, whole day in my eyes. Old lady on the stoop said, boy, time flies. But the second-hand lint took his time to arrive. Bodega light flicker, that's my first religion. Cats arguing on politics in prison in the kitchen. I listen every sentence like a sentence you were living. Every minute like a minute you were missing. What is truth? Is it written in a book with a name? Or in that look when your man never came? I seen time fold in the smoke ring, vanish in the rain. Seen a lot quote scripture with a trembling vein. Corner preachers talk heaven with holes in their socks. Young shorty talk revenge with a stone in his heart. I just walk, counting cracks in the block, thinking every little fracture is a memory we drop. Clock hands on the concrete, still spin slow. Same block, same sky, but we don't grow. Tell me what's real when the lies feel close. I'm just trying to find truth in the echo. Days fade, dreams trade for a bill to fold. We chase bright things till our eyes get old. If time is a thief, I ain't scared no more. I just write what it stole on the corner store door. My cousin said the system is a rigged arcade. You keep feeding in your life, never win that game. He got lost in the sentences, printed in his name. Judge slam wood, time stretched like a hallway frame. I visited, saw years in the dust on the glass. Saw a boy in his grin, then it shattered to ash. He asked, what is life? Is it pain plus laughs? Is it just one chance and a whole lot of math? I ain't had those answers, only half a Metro card. Only wish I could rewind them to the back of the yard, where the hoop had no net, but our hope had sparks. Where we talk about the charts, not the cold ass bars. I learned truth, got layers like a project wall. First code is the color, then the cracks you draw. Under that, old tags from a kid who's gone. Under that, just brick under brick, just
Clock hands on the concrete, still spin slow. Same block, same sky, but we don't grow. Tell me what's real when the lies feel close. I'm just trying to find truth in the echo. Days fade, names fade off the mailroom notes. We chase quick highs till the veins run cold. If time is a judge, I'll appeal that role. I'll just carve my case in the subway post.
Is a moment never over if you never let it leave? Are we more than our memories, the people we believe? If the past feels present when you're walking up the street, maybe time ain't a line, it's a circle in your sleep. Is it true, still true if it never gets heard? If you die with your story living quiet in your nerves, I just spill my nerve endings in these verbs.
Let the block be the quiet for the hurt. I seen scholars in sneakers, prophets in rags, geniuses on the bus with the brain in the bag. Old man sweeping glass like he's sweeping his past. Said he lost 20 years in the bottom of a glass. What's existence? He shrugged, pointed up at the brick, said, kid, every day you wake up, that's a glitch. You weren't owed this minute, you weren't sold this breath. So every step that you take, pay respect to the death. So I pace like a monk in some busted tins. Meditate on the gum stains, rust and sins. Every stain is a story, every story a limb. On the tree of the city that I'm rooted in. If truth is a mirror, then ours got cracks. You see yourself clearer where the glass breaks back. In life,
Late night. Queensbound. Listen. I seen the clock on the corner, hand stuck like it gave up counting for us. Rust on the face, graffiti on the glass, little kid throwing rocks, trying to break his past. Old head on the milk crate, talking about fate, saying every missed train really show up late. If you wait, you decay. If you chase, you erase whole days in a haze just to say you ain't safe. I read time in the bags, under eyes on the train, in the gum stained floors, in the cold window pane. Every stop, every yawn, every nodding off head is a paragraph of life that they'll never have read. We all rush, but the graveyard never closed. Whole block full of almost stories untold, trying to measure out a purpose with a bend-ass ruler in a city where your future got a crack pipe tutor.
Hourglass in the gutter, watch the sand drip slow. We just walk right through it, like we ain't gon' go. Every second that we spend on the edge of the truth, there's a grain that we lose to the weight of the roof. Hourglass in the gutter, right under our feet. We just step, 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 down the cold brick street. The time is a teacher and death is the proof. That life is a question that's searching for truth.
My uncle said, son, you gon' work till you dirt. Put his check in his shirt, put his hope in the church, put his pain in a bottle, put his past in reverse, trying to back up from regret on a one-way earth. I seen God in the cabbie with his eyes on E, saying they tip more when you lie nicely. So we smile, show teeth like a half-true sermon. Played lotto at the bodega for a last chance, earning truth out in the change jar. Pennies and dimes mixed in with the lint from a couple low lives. Every face on the bill got a story they sell, but the ink never mentioned who got caught in the hell. I used to think facts was a solid black stone till I learned every headline got a crack in the tone. What's real, what's rumor, what's camera, what's I? If a kid ain't recorded, do they really survive?
Hourglass in the gutter, watch the sand drip slow. We just walk right through it, like we ain't gon' go. Every second that we spend on the edge of the truth is a grain that we lose to the weight of the roof. Hourglass in the gutter, right under our feet. We just step, 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 down a cold brick street. If time is a teacher and death is the proof, then life is a question that's searching for truth.
Life feel like a lease that we never get to read. Fine print written in somebody else's ink bleed. Your birth is a contract, your death is the fee. Where the part about joy, where the clause about free. We chase someday like a sale at the mall, but someday don't answer when the reaper done call. He just wait in the stairwell, smoking on doubt, listening to all the goals we keep talking about. I seen time of my mother when the gray showed up in the coffee shop window in the paper cup, in the tremble in her hand when the rent came due, and the way she said my name like a whole rescue. What's the soul in the city built on selling your name? They put price tags where you keep your shame. You either drown in the crowd or you learn to float on a raft made of jokes and a secondhand coat.
sunrise on the stoop, steam leak from the grate. Old head not slow, saying son don't be late. Not for work, for the lesson you ain't learned yet. Every second on the watch is a quiet debt. Corner store cat counting quarters for a coffee. Whole life in the cup, one sip from a story. Graffiti on the wall, spelling names of the gone. Every tag is a book, every brick is a song. Train scream under feet, whole block vibrate. Clock hands tap glass, asking why we wait. Kids chalk on the curb, drawing worlds with a line. Erase it with a sneaker, call it passing the time. See the homie that I grew with, eyes look older. Same frame, more weight sitting on his shoulder. He said I chase paper, but it thins in the rain. We laugh, but the joke got a shadow of pain. We just sand in the hourglass, scattered in the gutter. Every grain falls, every dog gets smothered. But I dig through the dust, try to pull out truth. In the cracks of the sidewalk, in the fading youth. Yeah, we dance with the seconds, slow waltz with the clock. Every tick tock tough, like a cop on the block. If tomorrow never shows what this moment worth, I'm just asking these questions from this patch of earth. Mom prayed by the sink, so all on her hands, saying God got a script that you can't understand. I've been flipping through the pages in the back of my mind, trying to read the fine print on the contract. The time projects like a puzzle with a couple key pieces, missing in the middle where the heartbeat weakens. Funeral fan spinning, quiet hum through the heat. Little kid in the back scrolling light through the grief. I seen lies dressed clean, take the truth after dinner. Seen saints turn slides, seen devils look thinner. Everybody got a mask, some fit, some tear. Some drown in the mirror, some float off air. If the past just a ghost, why I sleep in my chest? Why the future feel close when I'm short on breath? I place faith in the steps, in the cracks, in the flaws, in the man with the broom, in the woman who paused. We just sand in the hourglass, scattered in the gutter. Every grain falls, every thought gets smothered. But I dig through the dust, try to pull out truth. In the cracks of the sidewalk, in the fading youth. Yeah, we dance with the seconds, slow waltz with the clock. Every tick tock tough, like a cop on the block. If tomorrow never shows what this moment worth, I'm just asking these questions from this patch of earth. Is it fate, is it choice, is it all pre-written? Or a kid with a pen in a small dark kitchen? Is the soul just smoke from a match in the rain? Or a flame that survived in the back of the brain? Tell me if I fall, do I land or I learn? If I never touch light, do I still get burnt? If the truth too big for a tongue to hold, maybe silence is the loudest story told. Midnight on the roof, whole city in a hum. Helicopter blink, same beat as a drum. I watch lights blink out one by one by one, like the day getting counted by a shadow of the sun. Shorty texting me, saying what you doing up? I said trying to pour time in this paper cup. She wrote back, you deep, then she let me on scene. But I ain't chasing her, I'm just tracing the theme. Old tape in the deck, hits loud in between. Every bar from the past feel carved in the screen. They survived all the years, all the dust, all the trends. So I rhyme like I'm talking to my grandson's friends. When I'm gone, let my voice ride the cracks in the wax. Let my thoughts hit the block while they walking past tracks. They gon', they gon', they gon'.
Yeah. Train brake screech, steam from the grate, corner store bell ring, same block, new date. I wrote a thesis in a staircase, dust in my lungs, old paint peeling like the years off my tongue. Clock on the platform stuck, hands don't move, but my man just aged 10 summers, same groove. We chase minutes like they owe us rent. Fold them in a wallet, talk about how they went. Time drips, little leaks in the ceiling of thought. Every later that we said is a ghost we forgot. I seen truth get haggled over dice and Lucy's. Preacher on the corner, sermon in a Gucci. Kid in the cypher said he's scared of success. Rather fail on his own than be owned by the rest. I asked the old head posted by the payphone, what's real? He laughed at whatever you stay on. Said the body's just a coat you return at the end. Hang it up clean, maybe time to zoom in. Hourglass on Fulton, sand in the wind. Same train passing, different faces within. We write our names in the fog on the glass. Life keeps moving, we just watch it pass. What is truth in a city that bends? Stories in the smoke, chalk where it ends. Every short breath, every long night lasts, till the sun clocks in and erases the past. Hey. I seen calendars curled on a nail in the kitchen. Dates circled in red, people missing from the pictures. Mom said, baby, every wrinkle is a sentence. Your skin keeps score when your soul seeks repentance. My little cousin count like they lottery numbers. Thinks fame gon' feed them when reality hungers. I told them, you a book, they skim your cover. Study your own chapters, learn to love the clutter. The block is a mirror with a cracked reflection. Every broken piece shows a different direction. Some chase numbers, some chase God, some just pace in the yard. Talk to the stars, time is a landlord that never loses the key. You can hide in the moment, clock still see. I've been living in the margin, scribbling proof that pain is a teacher that don't soften the truth.
Ass on full tent, sand in the wind. Same train passing, different faces within. We write our names in the fog on the glass. Life keeps moving, we just watch it pass. What is truth in the city that bends? Stories in the smoke, chalk where it ends. Every short breath, every long night lasts. Till the sun clocks in and erases the past.
Do we own these hours? Are they on loan? If time is a circle, I feel so alone. Is the soul just a rumor we repeat till we go? Or a flicker in the sewer light, dancing below?
Whoa. Yeah. The system treat humans like numbers on receipts. Scan your barcode, stamp your belief. I met a quiet dude sweeping up the park at night. Said he used to study physics, then his brother called life. He told me everything's motion even when it's still. Thoughts, orbit, trauma, light, planets at will. Said if truth had a face, it would look like doubt. Cause you only get real when you start to ask how. We speak on forever, but live like a sail. Flash deal faith, then we slide off the rail. I'm trying to push past comfort, bend what I know. Let questions be the compass when the answers feel cold. I seen time stretch thin in an ER chair. One beat at a time, whole family in prayer. That's when I learned existence ain't a thing you own. It's a flicker in the distance that you briefly call home.
Glass on full tent, sand in the wind. Same train passing, different faces within. We write our names in the fog on the glass. Life keeps moving, we just watch it pass. What is truth in a city that bends? Stories in the smoke, chalk where it ends. Every short breath, every long night lasts. Till the sun clocks in and erases the past.
Erase the past. Erases the past.
Street lights flicker, shadows move erratic, blocks cinematic, the struggle systematic. Dreams wrapped in plastic, stashed in the attic. Toss a quarter to fate, she's cold and dramatic. Echoes in the alley, bottles clink like a chorus. Hustle's ancient, hieroglyphs in the corners. Midnight marauders, plotting on the borders. Chasing Benjamins while the clocks are tortoise. Concrete dreams, where the pavement scream. Every step feels heavy, every move extreme. I keep running, though the nights I've seen. Concrete dreams, chasing that gleam unseen. Concrete dreams, chasing that gleam unseen. Concrete dreams. Treat 'em all. Pigeons on the roof, they cool like prophets. Talking whispers, decipher the topics. Hunger like a beast, can't pause or stop it. Wallet anorexic, dreams morbidly tropic. Brick by brick, I'm stacking ambition. Blueprints in my mind, call it tunnel vision. Dodging snakes that hiss with precision. Told my scars the cost of the mission. Concrete dreams, where the pavement scream. Every step feels heavy, every move extreme. I keep running, though the nights I've seen. Concrete dream, chasing that gleam unseen. Concrete dream, chasing that gleam unseen. Concrete dream. Freedom.
Yeah. Trouble up, yeah. Streets breathing heavy, whispers in the brick cracks. Dreams duct tape the backpacks, chasing big stacks. Lamp posts flicker shadows, dance like smoke trails. Graffiti sermons preach prophets leaving broke tales. Sidewalks stained with ambition and spilled drinks. Chain links, rusted souls drowning where hope sinks. Corner bodegas, lottery tickets, loose squares. Broken promises tucked between the canned pears. City shadows, they move with the night. Street lights fade, but I'm chasing the light. Grinding through the echoes, the cold in the fight. City shadows, they whisper my flight. The grind's nocturnal, I'm married to the pavement. Clock hands bleed, I was lost in enslavement. Hustle flips like a coin, heads or tails. Either stack chips or end up in cells or jails. Building castles from crumbs, brick by brick. Dreams in the Pyrex, I'm cooking up quick. Sharp flow cut through, raise it to the vinyl. Blueprint survival, life's chapters gone primal. Concrete symphony, drumline of heartbeats, echo in the alleys. Rhythm where the dark meets, dark meets, dark meets.